Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
She is at that.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you now?
Oh, pretty good. And you?
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. How do you do? We asked each other how we do,
And yeah,
but we just do what we do.
how you do that thing you do.
Yeah.
Like do-wop?
Yeah.
Like that thing?
Oh, that thing. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I don't think I have anything to talk about.
Well, that's too bad because this is a podcast where we talk about stuff.
I mean, we could just make it a real short one.
Sure, man. Are you just not feeling so talkative today?
Normally, I'm such a chatty Cathy, but I think, like, you know, maybe it's like just this weird transition from like doing, you know, one podcast a year to like one, you know,
A month.
or like a few weeks after we recorded the last one is what it feels like, even though it's been longer than that. Because, you know, we get these things, not to like get you too far behind the scenes here, but I know some of our like premium content subscribers really like to, you know, hear about the nitty gritty, you know, behind the scenes of the production here.
Like how the sausage is made and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who doesn't like a good sausage?
Okay. And so is it the frequency of talking that's throwing you off?
The frequency, man. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Like, you just talked a week ago and now you're all talked out?
Yeah, now it's like all of a sudden they're asking me to talk again.
Yeah.
The bosses.
That's true. That's rude, isn't it?
Yeah, the C-suite.
Is that me?
Wait, no, the A? Wait, what's good? What's the good suite?
Are you talking about like the executive suite?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it would be.
So C would be bad because it's like 2 clicks off the top of the line, or do they go AAA, like single, double, AAA?
Are we talking about like chief executive versus like executive?
Versus executive chief? I don't know. Maybe so.
I mean, if you're talking about a building, then the, penthouse would be the best.
Okay, but that's not like an office. Like, they wouldn't usually put like an office in the penthouse.
No.
Right?
You
I mean,
wouldn't.
they might.
You
like,
know.
Like, what's his name? Ex-Prez probably did, right?
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he
That
would
sounds
roll.
like something he would do. Yeah, so, like, yeah. Did you,
I mean, I can just, you could do all of it. I could just chime in every once in a while like I'm here.
okay. You want me to lead the show here? You're just going to chime in like you're my hype man?
Yeah, I think I might be like announcing my retirement, like live on
Oh my God,
screen
already?
here. Yeah.
After only 5 short years?
I know. Well, it's like they always say, you want to go out on top. And, I just don't want to prolong the inevitable decline.
Are you going to retire from the podcast game because you want to pursue your music career?
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Yeah, because I got the music in me,
I know.
It's got to get out.
Right.
So yeah, anyway, no, I'm not retiring, but you know who is?
Who?
Mr. Cool Breeze himself.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
As we smoothly transition into talking about the cool breezes over the mountain,
That's right.
we'd like to take a few moments to pay homage to
To our insurance
to
agent?
Mr. Cool Breeze himself, the man who brought us the cool breeze. I mean, literally, if it wasn't, think of how many fans would have been deprived of, this cool breeze segment.
That's true. Yeah,
Had
that's
we-
true. Like all 10 fans would have been really bummed out about it, I think. Yeah, well, it is the end of an era. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Charlie Platt, you were my best insurance agent. Yeah. And he already retired, and the first thing he did was he went on a mountain bike ride.
Oh, cool.
So he literally got the cool breeze blowing through his hair.
Well, good on you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Fair winds and following seas.
Speaking of cool breezes, we are actually experiencing a cool breeze today. I mean, like, I have a sweater on.
I thought you were just talking about me constantly. You know how my hair is sort of like just subtly.
Oh, just waving in the wind?
Yeah.
If you have the fan on you.
That's why it's constantly, because I constantly have the fan on. Okay, now it makes sense. So it's not my raw beauty.
Oh, I mean, you do look pretty beautiful in the fan wind.
Okay.
I mean,
Fair
you know,
enough.
my opinion.
I'll take it.
But yeah, like I'm actually wearing a sweater today, and it's July.
Jesus.
I know, right? That's those ocean breezes, man.
That's what they'll do for you. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the state, like even not too far from here, is pretty sweltering today.
Yeah.
And we're just like playing it cool breeze out on the breezy coast, man. Come out to the coast, have a few laughs.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Can't say I'm missing that 120 degrees, you know? Ay.
Yeah.
I think when I've said to people, oh, you know, like where I lived before, it was 120 degrees in the summer, they're like, don't believe me.
Yeah.
They think I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, it took a while for me to, and I still have a lot of explaining to do when I tell people, you know, from other areas of the country, like where I live, and like Northern California is not what you're picturing at all. Not all of it, anyway. Some of it is a little bit out by the coast.
Again,
noticing a theme here.
Yeah. California is pretty wide, so you know,
yeah.
It's not all coast, unfortunately.
But yeah, I think most people get it by now. They're like, "Wow, yeah, it was hot where you used to live." When we do our inevitable weather talk, you know.
That's something that I appreciate about you.
Oh, weather corner.
I know that you used to live somewhere hot, and now you don't.
Well, I appreciate it about you too, Ms. Babe.
So, speaking of, you know, like coastlines and whatnot, we've been watching a lot of like landscapes on the TV.
Landscapes.
Yeah, the French landscapes and the Italian landscapes. Yeah.
Vamos.
It's been a return. Like a return to the like homeland or something in a way.
Yeah, it's like we've, you know, time traveled. We went back in time, back to the future.
We kind of did. It's really interesting because for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, yeah, it's the Tour de France season. And you used to watch it all the time, every year. Didn't miss it for a while there.
Yeah.
And used to ride bikes a lot. And it was just like, we were just totally into like cycling.
Right.
And that was like when Charlie was like a baby. Mm-hmm. Charlie is going to turn 18.
Yeah, like in a week.
Next week.
Or less.
Yeah. Almost. And now you're getting back into it. So it's almost like it's full circle, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know what prompted it, but I guess I started like watching a few cycling things and then ended up like kind of happening upon like a bike that was the same model that I used to have that I sold back when we needed money, and I regretted it and always like kind of just kept an eye out for one of these casually every once in a while. And yeah, saw one down here and ended up picking it up. Did I talk about this already? Like
you
on
might
the last
have.
episode? Anyway, I won't get too deep into it, but so yeah, I've been riding a little road down here, and it's been really sweet.
And it's funny because watching the tour again, it's the same hosts. It's like such a nostalgic thing, sort of, for like the whole family, because it was just like on in the background.
Yeah.
You know, and like I just totally forgot about it.
And I'm less hardcore these days about making sure that I see like every pedal rotation, as they do like 4 hours of tempo at the front, and like nothing happens, and you're just like, cool.
Yeah, it was a little.
But it's like you have to catch it all because. Oh, that's the fridge! Holy shit, freaked me out. Because like you never know, there might be like some kind of crazy attack, and if you don't see it right at that time,
you're just not living.
I know, it's not like they're gonna play it again like 14,000 times over the rest of the broadcast. Anyway, so
I like your approach.
Now I do a little fast forwarding. I go 15 minutes, 30 minutes ahead sometimes if it's kind of getting a little stale. And then if I see that I missed something big that happened, I'll backtrack a little bit and try to find it. But yeah, less hardcore, and
that's nice.
Highlights are also acceptable.
Yeah, it's like you've
it's like they picked out the best parts of it and they're going to show you that in
but it's
24
also like
minutes instead of like 5.5 hours or however long their show is.
But I also like your approach to riding your bike again this time around, because it's not like we're all in the cycling jail with you, and you're also not in the jail. Like you're just riding your bike when you have time.
Yeah,
like for fun.
That's how
for
it starts,
exercise.
though, man. You start. Next
well,
thing
I'll tell you what.
You're back in the fucking slammer.
I'm gonna slap you around this time. I won't hesitate.
Yeah, no.
I know how this goes.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Good. If you get on that anorexia train again, boy, I'm gonna have some words.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's like my cycling mojo.
I know, it's back.
It's coming back, baby.
It's kind of exciting. And
you reimplanted while I was asleep one night, and I didn't even try to. And then I'm like, I want to ride my bike again.
It's really weird. It really, truly, like these things for you, just like come and go like that, like just magically. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. You just like wake up one day and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. And then I'm doing this other thing, and I don't have any like thought about it or like explanation really. It's like you don't even know.
In point of fact, I haven't played Fortnite for like 3 or 4 weeks now.
Right.
I haven't even been on my gaming PC.
That's right. I know. Which is like leading up to that, you were playing every day pretty much. And
I wish I could figure out how to like just intentionally change some of these light switches like in a like strategic way.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
I'd love to know what it is. Because, I hear I've known you, for like almost 30 years, and I still don't know why that happens. So it's really bizarre. It's really unpredictable.
I would say like you got to keep them guessing or something like that. But like,
but I'll tell you what.
I don't think I have to.
I told Charlie, so this is kind of a funny story. I told Charlie, like, when you had your knee surgery, I said, well, it's going to take you a while to like recover from your knee surgery. And he was like, well, it's only going to take like 6 weeks. And I was like, no. Like, fully recover. And he was like, oh, like how long? I was like, oh, probably like 6 months, And then when he started playing Fortnite, he was like, well, I didn't realize that Dad was going to play Fortnite like all the time, like every day. Like, what's up with that? I was like, I don't know. This is just what happens. And I said, like, just wait. He'll just give it up one day. He'll just stop. And he's like, no way. He's not going to do that. And I was like, yeah, he'll just stop just randomly. He'll just forget about it. And he was like, that's not going to happen. I was just like, hey, look, I at least know these patterns happen. But I don't know why. And so anyway, it's just really funny that it actually happened.
Yeah. Wow, that is truly bizarre.
Yep. So, I guess I know you pretty good.
I guess that would make me a pretty boring ass person if I knew all the correct switches to flip and stuff, and I had the ability to.
Yeah, I think about that.
I'd just be like the perfect robot, basically.
But if you could like do it in such a way where you're just like, I optimize my life, and like, I don't know, it might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, fully realized and self-actualized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what
that's what we're working on here.
That's what we're working toward. Yeah. I mean, this could go south like later tonight.
Oh, totally.
I mean, just in how I can turn on a dime into something real good, I can also turn onto something bad
I know.
Usually not too bad.
Oh, no, it's never too bad. But I have a feeling about this.
Oh.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Interesting.
I think I don't know. To me, it's like you turned a corner. You like were at a fork in the road, and you just like turned.
Yeah.
So I think you're on like a little slightly different trajectory that might continue. So I'm excited.
Keep up with the podcast and fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and now you get to go to the Trek store. How's that going?
Oh, the Trek store.
We have a Trek store right down the street.
Very expensive.
That could have been very dangerous in the old days.
Yeah. I mean, it just is a killer reminder of how you can just nickel and dime yourself to death on this stuff, and especially with like prices having gone up quite a bit since the last time I was needing to buy stuff like chain lube and, inner tubes and stuff like that.
Bits and pieces and whatnot.
Yeah, just a little
bungles and bangles.
Shit. Brake cable. Oh, need brake cable. Yeah, that'll be $24. Like, what? Holy shit. I think the last one of these I bought was a generic stainless steel one for like $2 or something like that.
Yeah, it's different times,
and
man.
Like those ones now are $6. So it's like just amazing. But it's been nice, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay, more to come on Jason's bike tour.
Yeah,
of Encinitas.
That's tour to Babe segment done and dusted.
Nice.
But are we still cool breezing or what, man?
I mean, I think we're cool breezing, but you know what? We shouldn't cool breeze for too long.
It's the breeze, buddy.
We might have to get into
breezes
to our, the main topic at hand, but that's kind of like what we've already been sort of talking about. Man.
Oh yeah, we got some of it in there.
We did
on this episode though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we got to stick to the script here, guys.
We
do a lot of work behind the scenes in pre-production.
Did you start on some other episode and I didn't know about it? Because we've just been doing this one episode today, right?
Yeah, I think that's
okay.
Right. Yeah, just one so far today.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Easy to lose track, though, when you're just in such a forward-moving, production-minded, just like...
Yeah.
Vibe, man. You're on one. Anyway, what?
So, just to follow up on our last episode, which was all about TV, the best and the worst of TV.
All about TV.
Yeah. I would just like to confirm that Monsieur Spade on AMC Plus was actually really good and is worth watching because we finished it.
No aliens?
No aliens. I highly recommend.
That's the Babe Fader guarantee.
I don't recommend shit to people if it has aliens in it.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Okay.
Because you would hate it.
Absolutely.
So you're like, everybody hates aliens, right?
I mean, no, people love aliens, but I find them extremely boring. So,
gotcha.
And me and Monsieur Spade had a lot in common. Like, he wasn't really, like, all excited about going to the moon and stuff, like, in the 60s. Like, he was like, what are we wasting all this time going to the moon for? I was like, yeah, somebody finally gets it, man.
You are kind of a Sam Spade type of gal.
I am. I kind of am. But that makes sense because I was, like, totally into, like, detective stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to be...
Dick Tracy.
Exactly. I wanted to be a Dick Tracy.
Did it start before then, or was that, like...
It did start before then. You remember Square One? The kids show?
Oh, yeah.
That's where it started with the fake Dragnet. But it was MathNet.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
MathNet. Yeah.
I was super into that.
Yeah, I think I must have seen that when I was, like, pretty young, too.
And they had Super Spy. I was like, oh, yeah, Super Spy. I was into, like, James Bond. I mean, yeah. I was into that kind of stuff.
I've never seen the Maltese Falcon.
Me either. I guess we should watch it now. But, yeah, anyway, other good TV.
So that's Babe Fader approved for sure.
That's Babe Fader approved.
You're going to read some subtitles.
Oh,
you'll be fine, man.
Yeah, but it was a good refresher on my French.
Oh, yeah. I know. You've been speaking it around the house ever since.
It's très magnifique.
Lots of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting annoying.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Like, oh, you know what? I could be so annoying. Like, I could be so much more annoying. Like, again, you're just getting 10% off the top here. I'm like one of the most annoying people ever. Like, left to my own devices. Good Lord. Okay, let's get on to like babe approved. I got me babe approved.
Oh,
what's your
did
pick?
I have an approval?
Oh yeah, you have a pick.
Oh, geez. Yeah, well, I mean, Shoresy, season 3.
Yeah? Did it do it for you?
For what? Yeah, but I mean, we didn't talk about that last time?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Shoresy. I mean...
Because you finished it.
Fantastic show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did too, but I think you still slept through some episodes a little.
I did.
Just a little bit here and there, so you might need a refresher. But I figured I'm probably going to watch it. It's a show that I tend to watch a few times.
I think it's like a comfort.
Yeah, yeah.
In a weird way.
It's a real weird form of comfort, but...
Makes sense, though, to me that that's a comfort for you.
It does it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, really good. I mean, especially like the final episode, but lots of stuff throughout. And like, you know, some cringy shit too.
Of course.
But that's...
Their specialty.
That's coming.
That's the magic.
Yeah. So that's my Babe Fader.
What's your pick?
Recommendation, solid pick.
All right, cool. And then we had the Arnold.
That's certified fresh.
Yeah, and then Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
That was actually good.
Good doc.
Because it kind of went through how he became so successful, which to me is interesting, even if you're not a super fan of whoever. It's kind of always an interesting story.
Yeah.
And I forgot he was the governor. Until we rewatched that.
I mean, it was just like 8 years or whatever.
But like, as we're going through the documentary, I was like, okay, bodybuilding, check. Movies, check.
Yeah.
And then, oh, that's right. Wow, you were the governor.
Oh, yeah.
Where was I? I was out to lunch, man. Big time.
Yeah.
And by out to lunch, I mean just raising children.
Yeah.
I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, you would go have like a, martini type of lunch.
A 15 martini lunch. Yeah, I had a couple of those.
Well, you gotta blow off some steam every now and again.
Oh yeah.
For various reasons.
I had plenty of steam to blow off, so it was no problem.
But yeah, so wait, we were talking about Arnold, or did we do that?
I was just saying it was good.
Oh, okay.
I recommend it, but then here's what I don't recommend necessarily.
Yeah.
Is the Sherry Papini documentary, and it would only be interesting if you like are from Shasta County. Otherwise, I think it's like very boring and dumb. But it was, I feel like we've closed that case, and I don't really ever need to think about that again. But it was a good reminder that just like make no assumptions. People are just like apeshit crazy. So don't forget to consider that when something goes wrong.
Yeah, it is a possibility.
It's always a possibility, even if you're talking about your own family or whatever. It's like, don't forget, people can just do weird stuff for no reason.
Never forget.
No, that was... Okay, I learned that lesson.
Yeah, so I mean, there were a few things I learned that I was glad that I did. But like, and also just that same thing, like let's close the books on this bad boy. I never have to think about it again. So that was nice because I didn't hear like whatever the last, few updates on that story were.
Yeah, exactly. And I liked that they pointed out that the sheriff's department were like complete losers. So I was like, yeah.
Did they?
Choice. Yeah, because at the end they're just like, how come you didn't investigate the guy that like was brought up in the beginning as a potential like place where she would be? And they're like, oh, we must have just like forgot about his name or something. It's like,
oh, right.
Okay. I'm glad we captured that and got that on the record, because like pretty much all the stuff, I'm just like, yeah, you guys don't know what you're doing. So cool.
Wow.
Anyway, don't go missing in Shasta County, okay? Because the cops aren't going to find you.
I mean, honestly, don't go missing anywhere if you can help it.
Just don't do it, okay?
Like, really don't.
Especially if you're faking it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe do if you're faking it. And you want to try to get away with it.
Because one crazy girl outsmarted the cops and the FBI.
Get away with what, though? It's like, what did I get away with? I guess just the attention.
Yeah. She caused a national scene.
That's a lot of attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, man. I don't understand.
I don't either, but it's not good. Okay, one more item before we get to the main topic. Okay? Here we go.
Let's go.
We discovered this really important piece of information last night that we know that you guys are going to want to know about.
Yeah. And some of you might already.
Yeah.
But we did not.
Right. So we're listening to like the Talking Heads album. I can't remember which one. It's like the second one maybe. And this song comes on and I was like, wow, this song is so cheesy. And it kind of sounds like super 80s, like it's got like accordion in it and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, what is this silly song? And then all of a sudden it goes into like this chorus where they're just like singing about Radiohead. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I found out that the song is called Radiohead.
Yeah, but 2 words.
Okay, 2 words, but still called Radiohead.
Not Radiohead.
All right. So I just found this particularly funny, you know?
It would be really interesting to know if, like, you know, those Radiohead band guys were, like, Talking Heads fans.
Seems probable.
Because I wonder. I mean, but something like that could also just totally, like, slip in there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, if it was on the radio or something.
Yeah.
Like, who knows, right?
Like Pearl Jam making Coming to California or whatever. On accident.
They did?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh, that's right. They got sued. For it. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They had to like pay royalties or something.
That's right. Because it was too similar. Yeah.
Because it was basically a Led Zeppelin song. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I just find this funny because like, I like the Talking Heads. I like David Byrne. If I had heard that song when we were in the band and I had said like, oh, that's where the name Radiohead came from.
Yeah.
Like nobody would have believed me. They would have been like, no. That's not a thing. Like, Radiohead's like this amazing, you know, indie rock band. Like, they wouldn't take any inspiration from the fucking Talking Heads, the most annoying band of all time. I would have been like, oh, man, you just don't get it.
That would have been another terrible fight.
Maybe. Anyway, that like cracked me up. Like, I was just like, that's perfect. It's like the dumbest Talking Head song I've ever heard.
Yeah, and especially because, like, I was, like, you know, dancing around, like, kind of making fun of it or whatever, and then I started saying this thing. I couldn't tell because it was, you know, slightly, like, slurred.
Right.
I couldn't tell what he was saying for sure, but I was like, I think he's saying Radiohead. And then so I, like, had to look, like, scroll the lyrics back a little bit. And look
sure enough.
There, and, Radiohead. Radiohead or whatever. I don't know. That was pretty funny.
We're gonna, you know what?
And like I'd never heard that song before.
Me neither. And I'm gonna link.
Just crazy.
I'm gonna link it in the notes just because it's too funny.
But that's not the song.
That is not the song of the week because it sucks. Okay. And we only pick songs on here that don't suck. Okay?
Bangers only.
Yeah, bangers only. To quote my photo teacher.
Yeah.
All right. So. We want to deliver certified bangers here.
Certified fresh bangers and mash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our main topic, though, is, I mean, it's twofold. It's how and why do you get back into doing stuff you forgot about?
Oh, right.
Right.
Oh, see, yeah, that's what I forgot, that was the angle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I think we don't know, right? But like, I think giving up on things, you can figure that out. Why do you give up on things that you love?
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know, man. I wrestled with that a lot. Like, thinking about, I guess recently I've been thinking more about, like, why I stopped writing.
Yeah.
In the early, you know, I think probably around, I started sloughing off after, like, 2011, 2012. I still did a few races and, like, lots of miles and stuff, but I was, like, getting burned out. And just, like, I don't know. I think my knee was also hurting even at that point and stuff.
I think there was this more like bummed outness going on. That was a rough time.
Yeah, and like, probably a low point depression wise.
Yeah,
maybe probably not the lowest, but a pretty low one. And, the definitely affected by like the whole house thing.
The financial crisis, the house,
crisis, the short sale, trying to find a
Ponzi
place to
scheme,
live, just all that.
Having to sell off all our possessions to pay the bills.
It's kind of funny that it's been like
it's not much of a mystery.
A huge mystery to me. Why? Because it, like, even during that time, like that all that shit just like fueled me more, like to ride more, because it's like I had to fucking ride away from that demon, man. He's chasing me. Holy shit, go faster. You gotta get lighter. You gotta get better gear. You gotta go faster because the demon's coming to get you, or something. I don't know. And I don't know, just that 5 years or whatever it was, just like broke me with all that stuff happening. Yep. I think.
Yep.
I was just depressed.
Well, and I think like cycling is a little bit of, I mean, if you do it wrong, it's like a rich man's game, first of all. Yeah, I think if you're just like, do race and do all this stuff at like any cost, it really is expensive. And I think because we were having so much financial trouble, I think you were just kind of like, I have to give this up. Yeah, I can't really do it the way I want to do it. And I think before that, it had just been this like fun project / escape from reality. And I think that you were forced to like accept the reality. And like you're saying, you couldn't outright it. You had to deal with it. It was pretty bad. So looking back on it makes perfect sense. But at the time when you like sold your bike and you were just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, cool. So now we have some more money. Like I never even paused to be like, are you okay? Like
probably good though, because like, I couldn't have. I mean, I could have kept riding. I still had a bike and stuff.
You could have.
And like, I would try to go out, but I would just like get out there and then just be like, ugh.
Yeah,
and
just
like,
not
come
into
back,
it.
or just like, try to get dressed to go out and like couldn't find one thing, or whatever.
And then
like one of my gloves.
Yeah.
And then just like, I'm just gonna lay down or whatever. Like. So pretty classic, like easy to read, like severe depression. Like,
exactly. Yep.
Or whatever, and understandable. Thinking back on it now, but it's pretty funny.
I mean, but I think it's good you come back to it, because I think you can't really kind of close that or figure it out unless you just go back and do it again. You know what I mean? I mean, for me, it's kind of, there's some similarities. Like, I was so gung-ho on going to school and finishing my degree, and, and then I just gave that up.
Yeah.
I think that probably should have been a little bit of a red flag at the time. And also like playing music, like selling all of my equipment and just being like, I'm not going to play anymore. Again, it's like at the time I was just mad. But then to never go back to it for like 20 years is a little weird.
Yeah.
And so just recently I didn't even realize I did it. Kind of like the bike thing. I like was so into like science and like ecology and environmentalism and all this stuff when I was a kid, and I spent years and years like, learning about it, like doing all kinds of stuff. And then like, again, I just gave it up because I got a lot of flack. I got a lot of pushback. And I think I was just like, well, I guess if people are going to like me, I can't do this,
Yeah.
Which sucks. But now that I work for an environmental nonprofit, I've been reminded of all this stuff. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, I already know about all this stuff. It's just like really funny because I really didn't set out to do environmental work. But it's like a perfect fit in a way.
That's an interesting parallel. I hadn't really thought about it in that way necessarily, or how it like parallels me. I guess because this is such a new occurrence, like only since like Charlie graduated, kind of, so we're only talking about 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. However long I've not been playing Fortnite. Interesting.
Which actually seems long.
Yeah.
I mean, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have you back, by the way. Welcome back.
Hey.
But on that
Anything
note,
for the fans,
on that note of rekindling old things you loved, and or giving up the things you love.
Yeah.
We watched this amazing concert video.
Oh, yes.
That is part of our song of the week. And I think like that has also been sort of an interesting like time frame.
Yeah, totally. So the song of the week is Gardenia by Iggy Pop. Preferably watched or listened to while watching the post-pop depression live at Royal Albert Hall concert, which is just like phenomenal.
It's really well shot. It sounds great. It sounds better than the record. The live. Does. It's really good.
Yeah.
And Iggy Pop, I mean, like, I always just thought he was some crazy old man.
Yeah, and he is a crazy old man.
But he kind of is, but it's like more than that.
Yeah. That that was just an amazing, amazing show. And I completely missed it. Just wasn't on my radar at all. Like, I've only in the last few years kind of come to appreciate like Queens of the Stone Age and like Eagles of Death Metal a little bit more and stuff like that. But I've always known Iggy Pop but I haven't listened to everything. I've not been like that big of a fan to where I'm like, oh, I have to like listen to everything and really find these gems or whatever that are through there. So anyway, like at this show, they just played like all this stuff. Some of it new back in 2016 when this actually happened. And I think like this, and then they have a documentary film about like the genesis of this album and project and tour or whatever that came out in 2018. And I'm drawing a blank on what that's called, but we can put it in
American
the notes or
Valhalla.
Oh yeah, American Valhalla, which is one of the songs off the new record.
Which is good, but like I think actually the concert is better in a way.
Yeah.
But the Josh Homme guy from Queens of the Stone Age is, he plays guitar and he wrote some of the music, and like it's a really good combination of stuff. Like he's really good. The whole band is like super killer.
Mm-hmm.
But my pick from it, I think, is Chocolate Drops.
Oh yes.
That might be my favorite. I like Gardenia too. It's obviously the hit. But I'm just going to post it all because I think the whole album's good.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. And like it's that too also kind of seems like Iggy kind of coming full circle in a way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it just felt fresh. Like it didn't feel like this is some rehashed 70s, thing.
Yeah.
Right. I think like some of the stuff he's done in the last 20 years is kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it also made me remember how much I loved his songs that were on the Trainspotting soundtrack, which was the first time I ever listened to Iggy Pop.
Was it just like Nightclub and Lust for Life?
I think so.
I mean, dude, great songs and stuff. So it's like, that's what I heard primarily too, but whatever else would have been on the radio.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was
not
much,
a lot.
Really.
I used to confuse him with Lou Reed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But
that makes sense. But yeah, just wow. Interesting dude, and like deep in a way I didn't like really understand or expect. It seems like anyway. And the full circle thing makes sense because he's kind of talking about like how he had to be earlier in his career. And comparing that against like how he is now, like the things he's learned, and obviously like he's like self-admittedly like still a shithead to women, and stuff like that, or has been, and like,
yeah, Iggy Pop's never gonna be like some kind of like
you don't go there for like the wholesome I'm
not gonna tie that up with a bow ever,
like babysit my grandchild or something.
No, but there is more to him than I thought. And I really kind of felt like this concert was like a combination of like the super fine-tuned band like that could just play anything.
Yeah.
super smooth, like almost like Frank Sinatra like vibe, like in their look and like their delivery.
Yeah.
With like Iggy, who's like this like primal sort of like wild animal.
Yeah.
But it
This,
all like works together.
Like mid or late 70s year old man, like
but
with
just,
his shirt off, with kind of like
he's really
skin
into it
and
though.
bones, but he's got this little like Iggy paunch, you know, and it should be like the most
disgusting
terrible,
and weird looking,
unattractive, like awful thing you've ever seen, and it's like not. It's like,
not. It's kind of funny. It's like
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like very earnest, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so yeah, anyway, can't recommend that enough. Funnily enough, I heard about it on another podcast. I think Mark Maron was talking about it, like, but in an old podcast that I happened to listen because somebody mentioned something about it, and I was like, oh, I remember that podcast. So I went back into their archives and like,
oh wow,
listened to an older episode from several years ago.
I think it was meant to be, man.
And like, yeah, he talked about seeing that like when he was in a hotel room in Vancouver or something like that, you know,
just some random,
yeah, like traveling at some gig and was like totally knocked out by it or whatever, and was like, you gotta watch it, and, you know, doing his typical Maron thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from one podcaster to another, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for doing us a solid, bro.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to wrap up this episode by saying one other recent discovery. We realized we don't have a song. Like, you know, what's your song? You know? Oh, they're playing our song. Like, we don't have that, right? But I think we decided that Train Spotting, the movie, is our song.
Is our song.
Because it's like, when we met, I was like super into that. And that might have been like the first movie we saw together. Anyway, that is like the soundtrack of us getting together.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the soundtrack.
Yeah,
for the movie.
Exactly. Because I was like, that was on repeat.
Yeah.
So that was nice to discover that our love was like, you know, created over the top of this very disturbing movie.
Yeah, like the shit turned into chocolate drops.
It literally did. Like, I went from like being in the depths of despair when I met you to, having it turn into chocolate drops, and then everything was great.
I know, and it's been freaking smooth sailing.
No bumps
Awesome
in the road.
and amazing ever since.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Been totally perfect.
Couldn't get any better.
I know.
Yeah. Well, babe.
Yeah, babe.
If it couldn't get any better than with anyone, it's gonna be you. And I love you, babe.
Okay, I love you too.